Hi, I'm Courtney McQuade with Markets Group here at our ALTS New York event. With me is Lan Cai, Chief Investment Officer of PBUCC. Lan, it's wonderful to see you again.
Good to see you, Courtney.
So, you are just about to take the stage in our panel session. Can you give us a preview about maybe what some of the hot takes or key themes might be?
Sure. One of the hot topic I think will be total portfolio approach. There are a couple of big CIOs from the big public funds adopting the TPA. I'm actually very interested to learn how are they using the TPA, looking at a total portfolio, allocate resources, and then allocate the capital. The other themes, of course, we're living in a very uncertain time, and each one of us will probably share some views and how the portfolio positioning.
Fantastic. And when it comes to the private markets in general, what are your thoughts there with the way that they might be shifting?
Well, I think it is hard to not to notice that private markets is experiencing some indigestion. Last few years, firms have raised tremendous amount of assets in the private equity and now private credit, and we don't have that many exit yet. So despite the fact that public market is at historical high, ignore April, the private distributions have been at lows for the last 2 years. Why is that? Maybe some of the private companies holding up book that is higher than the public market. And I think in particular the software business, the SaaS business. But more fundamentally, if you look at the 5 years that we just experienced, you have the pandemic, you have the recovery, and then you have a lot of things going on this year. So it's almost a few business cycles in 5 years. Even for the public companies, it's hard to normalize where their earning growth is, and let alone those high growth private companies. So people are having a hard time to give the proper valuation. But I think that the market is start to throwing. This year, you have two interesting IPO, Circle, CoreWave, all have done very well since IPO. And then there are combination approach of secondary funds, continuation funds, merger acquisitions with the strategic buyers, and then of course IPO. I think it will see signs of recovery in the private market, and private credit will provide a financing bridge until we get there.
Brilliant, brilliant. And Lon, I have to ask you, how have you been enjoying Alts New York so far?
I love it. I was at the sustainable investing panel just now because sustainable investing is core to us. We have always using faith in the finance framework. Doesn't matter current environment or other environments. So we learned a bit from the panel, and I listened to a couple of other panels. It's interesting. I've been meeting individual managers. I like ALTSNY New York. It is one of my 5 favorites. One, because it's in New York. I'm based in New York, so it's super convenient for me to come here. And two, I can always meet good GPs and LPs here. So I'm
That's
enjoying it.
fantastic. Good, good. Well, we're so happy to hear this, Lon. It's great to see you.
Thank you, Courtney. Good to see you too.